Make sure your coffee cup's full.
Mine's full. Can you hear me okay, Jay?
We're we're live from Temecula, Trading Made Simple, around the U.S. and around the world. I'm Jay Davis, and I'm in the East Coast, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Sandy, are you live?
I am. How are you this morning?
Recording.
How are you this morning? So, looks like Jay cannot hear me. Can anyone else hear me? If you could just type in the Ask Sandy.
As usual, Jay's got the issue.
So just test, test, test. Yep, okay. Trader Chris says yes.
Now I'm there.
Oh,
Okay.
well, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
So, I was just thinking about how oftentimes, we wake up and the market has gapped up or down. So the previous night, I give out, the levels and they change in the morning. Oops, there's some sort of feedback there. Can you hear me okay, Jay?
I can.
Okay. So, um, so this morning, as an example, I just, wanted to let you know that like the NVIDIA levels have changed. So on my chart, you can see that I've marked off the high there at 192.50, and that's because the pre-market level went above my 191 level. And so, because in the middle of the night the pre market rose, then we have to take the pre market level into consideration. So, when I'm doing my support and resistance levels, I just want to make sure that you know that in the morning you look at your pre market levels. You say, okay, the high is at 192.23 as an example. And you could see I put mine like 25 cents up, right? 192.50. And I do that because uh, if we do have a spike, a wick that touches that level, um, and there are people out there that automate their orders, then you need to be cognizant that padding your level for NVIDIA 25 cents is nothing, but it might prevent you from getting your order automated and then it racing the opposite way 20 or 30%. And I know that this has happened to everyone. So to try to prevent that, you can just pad your account a little. And because I just said that, it makes me realize, oh, NVIDIA 25 cents is nothing. Could you pad it to 50 cents? The answer is yes. But then I just want to make you aware on a 5-minute chart. If we go above that pre-market high level, then what other lines do you see on the chart? And the other line, and I call them power lines, right? Because I want you to stay away from those, is the 193.57. So if we open up around 192 and you're waiting about 192.50 to get in, so you have $1, right? Realistically, to when you have a little wall here that's going to come into effect. And why is that? Well, that's a vertical trend line. And that trend line is going to act as resistance to you on a 5-minute chart. Now, if we look at it on a longer time frame there, you can see that that line really on a 15-minute chart is not going to affect us until we get into the 200s. But the deal is can your account withstand a 15-minute candle? So when you make that determination as you're starting to become more self-sufficient in this, just recognize that that's resistance. So if you get in, you better, I don't care if you have $30 profit, you need to get out as soon as 193.57 happens, because that's going to be your resistance level until you break it. Now, if we go up here and we kind of hang around, you're going to lose premium if you just have a call. So, your discretion if you think it's powerful enough to break through. As well as, looking at our CCI, right? Like, what's it doing? Is it in the red already? If it's in the red and this is rising, that could be, a divergence. And so that may want to have you wait to enter until you actually do break through that 193.59 level. So just to give you, some context behind the thought process of what we do, and to make you more self-sufficient as you start to get more familiar. Because right now it's just levels, and then your next question is, well, where are you getting these levels? And then after that is oh, well, how do I get these levels on my own? And that's where I'm going with that. Okay. So for NVIDIA, I have it around 192.50. I look at this now, depending on how we open and how strong we are and where the CCI is. I may wait until the 193, maybe the 194 area, the one right above it, 194. And then that might be a cleaner shot. And what's it a cleaner shot for, by the way? And I say cleaner shot because if I get into something, I don't want to have to pop right out of it. I want to ride it. So if I want to ride a nice move, then I want to get rid of the power line. Do I want to get into this position when I have a power line right above me? No, I want to wait. Because if I look at a longer term chart, I can see that there are no power lines. There is nothing up until 197.95. Well, if that's the case, then now I'm at 194 to 197. That's $3. That's a nice ride. So that's what I'm looking at. And then we have AMD real quick. That changed a little bit. Let's see, I got myself now at 109.03. Looks like we're going to open up around 108.21. You could see where the power lines come into convergence here. This triangle, this pennant, um, and I picked a spot that's right above pre-market high. But I see now that resistance, right? This whole resistance zone is up to 109.37 now. So, am I going to, I'm not going to dick around for a tick. So when we, take a look at that, if we're getting our pre-market high at 108.95 and our zone here is at 109.35, so maybe it's 109.50 is a better, clearer uh, area to get into, since we don't have any power lines above us. We have nothing preventing us from going higher there for a little bit. So that's how I would look at that. And then down below here, we have our pre-market low now at 107.50. What did I have at AMD? 104.50. So now as the market is moving higher and I look at that and I say, okay, my pre-market low now is at 107.48. I don't need to go all the way over here to 104 because we have 107.48. Looks like we have something around 106.27. That's actually our um, volume profile high. So I'm thinking, I don't know, 107 seems pretty decent. So that's where I have my level here. If you wanted to wait to go a little lower, you could. And then what else do we have? AMD and I think SPY. Let me get up SPY. Just remember, if you have any questions, type them in the Ask Sandy, as I don't want you to forget some good questions about this, because this is one of, these are the things that we get a lot of questions on. So now on a 5-minute, as we're looking at this on SPY, so we gapped up. Our pre-market high is 415.66. We're coming down. And we have some power lines here at 414. And so really then, do we need to go all the way down here to the pre-market low at 412? You could be writing from 413 to 412. That could be an area of making a little bit of money, a small base hit, right? So now if you're like, well, I want to wait for cleaner action, we put it on a 15-minute chart and you can see 415 to 412, 33, we have a power line and a zone right here. This is our point of control. So 412, and then our zone starts for our support. So it is a little busy down here. And I have 412.37, so why did I take that? So that's right at pre-market low, but I never want to do it right on there. Now that I see this at 411, that's kind of far away. So you know what? I'll clear the pre-market mid and say about 413, maybe 80 is clean for moving down below for some base hit there. And then, of course, we're always looking at CCI to see where we're at. You know what else I was looking at too, Jay, was this VIX level. And I was just thinking, looking at the CCI, it looks like it's gaining a little, it's going up. So we've been down a really, if we go to a day chart here, really the VIX is an oscillator. So I find this interesting that, this is on a day chart. This looks like it's ready to cross. And what happens when the moving average on the CCI crosses, the actual CCI line, and you can see that things start to happen, whether they be short term or not. The VIX is opposite of what the market does. So if the VIX goes higher, then the market's going to go lower, and we just want to make sure that we keep that in mind. All right, got all that out of the way. What else is going on, Jay?
We can't answer a question that says, is the market going up or down? Because we see different indicators.
Well, I mean, let's just look at the stair-stepping aspect of that. So, we've actually just been basing the last, you see how this is basing right here? So the last week, right, was a poopy week, I thought. I didn't like last week at all as far as trading went. And it was really only because, we were just basing. So we should have, something happen here, you would think, unless we just continue to base. And that's just the market, gaining energy to make its next move. So it's not going higher or lower. It's just kind of staying in that realm. But I gave you the levels in the Ask Sandy area for SPX. And so that should kind of, let you know what those levels are. And then as we start to move, from level to level is how we just take it. And that's really what we look at when we're trading as well on a smaller chart. So I was just thinking to myself, so let's see those levels, right? Because I'm recording, I'm trying not to use that screen. Let's see. So 4130. Okay, so the bulls need to stay above really 4130, 4185, 4200 to keep that bullish momentum going on SPX, and then and the bears want it to go lower, of course. So we'll see what we open up at. It shouldn't.
We are recording, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So Big Boom was just, he's nervous about things. He was nervous, but now that he'll feel better now.
Say that again.
I said Big Boom was nervous, but he'll feel better now. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Question came up about Amazon, and it wasn't on your list, and TDA's not, Thinkorswim's not playing nice because the options are still at the original level instead of the split level.
Yeah, I don't have any information on that.
Okay, I just thought you might look at that on the chart, though, and just kind of let us know your opinion on the chart.
Well, I just wonder what you guys are going to do if TDA or, I don't know, is anybody else's platform working for options?
I was going to do options on it this morning because I thought it would do what it's doing right now, but that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, Jay, I have options.
Oh, it's changed. Okay, mine did not.
Okay.
Earlier.
So what do we got? So we can see that we got a nice big wick. I'm going to change my wicks here. And look at how CCI has crossed downwards, by the way. Okay, so let's just, do an exercise real quick about the market's opening, and I know everyone wants to get into a trade right away. They're feeling the pressure because all the alarms went off, right? I don't know if those are my alarms so VIX went off. VIX went off on the lower end, so that's good. Let's see, NVIDIA. That was on our list. So look at how NVIDIA has broken through the high on a 5 minute, and it's in the middle of the power lines, right? And so let's see here. We had 192.50, and now we're at 192.20. So and this is exactly what I meant. It popped up. It went through our zone and comes right back down. And that's really why we wait that, 5 minutes. You can even wait more than that if you recognize that there's a lot of volatility in the market. So it looks like NVIDIA is strong right now. The CCI on a 5 looks good. Let's see what it looks like on a 15. It looks good on a 15. So this may continue to go up here. It's at you see how it's just hanging around that zone we chose, right? So it's that 192.50 seems to be like that area.
Take a look at Microsoft.
And why is 192.50 that area? It's because the pre-market high is there. You got the power lines. So just always think about that when something starts stalling, is because there's power lines there. That's preventing you to get through. So, which one, Jay?
Microsoft.
Sure. So I'm going to wait on NVIDIA. My goal here now is to see is to get through now this wick, right? So I'm going to set another alert. And let's see. Microsoft, big flow, right? The middle of the night. Well, not really in the middle of the night, but at the end of day on Friday. Somebody said like close to $1 billion. So when we look at point of control, by the way, so we have our volume profile on right now, and Microsoft actually is breaking above point of control. On mine, point of control is red, and so you can see that it's breaking through. CCI is positive. And what's our level? 274. And so it touched pre-market high. Isn't it funny how it does that, right? So this is why we use those levels. So pre-market high, and it's touched it, and now it backed off. And so we're just going to wait. And hence I have the 274.05 here, right? Because that happens more often than not. So we're still waiting on Microsoft to forcefully do something, an aggressive candle. How's it look on a 1 minute? So it hung around on a shorter time frame. It's hitting resistance and coming back to touch the 9 EMA. So if it breaks the 9 EMA, that's no bueno. And we'll see what happens. So maybe the $1 billion was for was for puts. Who knows? What do you think, Jay?
I think it's there. Yeah.
What's there? Microsoft? Jay, you still on? So, I wonder, let me type J real quick. And you guys can hear me okay? Maybe it's me. Keep
Yeah,
the
I
oh
can hear you now.
oh okay. Um, so anyway, I just jokingly said, maybe the $1 billion in Microsoft at the end of Friday. Maybe they were taking their money and running. I don't know. We're coming on.
That's I answered that. I
Oh,
thought that's very accurate.
yeah. I wonder. Are you testing some new equipment? You're always testing some new equipment. What you got going on now?
So I'm um, trying to get I have a new microphone and it's not working, so I'm back to my old whatever it is here.
Yep. I know. I keep
And
keep doing that
I
as
was
well.
trying to sell a call that I'm green on, and it looks like it's trending up. So that's
By the way, Chris, did you see your DE play, Chris?
Chris has been a home run hitter here.
Holy moly! Holy moly! What are we doing with that? How many did I buy? Oh, I think I bought two of these. Chris, I think I bought two of your butterflies. Chris needs his own channel. We need to get him to do some plays. Let's do this. Wow. I'm up 252%.
Wow.
Did you take that DE play?
I didn't do DE. I did XOM with him.
What's he saying? Is he saying anything? Oh, $4. Aren't you ambitious? Okay, so I'm gonna leave it on. I'm just gonna run with you, Chris. I'm letting you give me some lessons now. I didn't have when I put that on, what was going on Friday? I think I was a mess on Friday with technology. And I remember just putting this on and because I remember the last couple plays, I didn't put anything on and I regretted it. I'm like, man, Chris is on fire. Oh, oh, what's going on here? Chris, you still feel like we need to hang? Yeah, probably. SPY goes down. DE always seems to, or commodities always seem to save always a little better. So as SPY is hitting not our low. Our high was 416. Oh, look at that, guys. So never even made it to the pre-market high. SPY just from the get-go is just going down. And let's see, SPY. So we said 412. Do we have anything else going on? Do you see anything else going on? My Oxy's not doing nothing. Ugh, and this, what is up with Coles? All my swings, what's that?
No, Coles is it's in the middle of a buyout or trying to be. So it's going to probably have a lot of retail investors jump in when they hear the announcement.
Oh, Marvel made a little bit of headway. Well, it's above point of control and looks like it could get up there.
Chris had this trade with XOM where we sold this week's call.
Yeah.
And bought a June 24 call for XOM.
Okay.
And
oh, something just happened to your microphone.
Oh.
There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it turned green this morning, and I went ahead and bought back my calls from this week since XOM seems to be ramping up.
Uh-huh.
And we'll sell them again when and if it gets a little bit higher.
Great. So you're up on that position?
On that position, and plus the June 24th calls are a little bit up right now as well. So,
Yeah, XOM I like way better than Oxy. Ugh, what is up with
well,
Oxy?
the Oxy, it was green just a minute ago, but it's not now.
Let's see what XOM is doing. XOM is way better. That's it. I'm just done with Oxy, people. If I do an oil play, I'm doing it with XOM. I mean, what is the deal with Oxy? Every time I get into Oxy, you know what it reminds me of is Disneyland. Whenever I get into a play with Disney, uh, it's always a negative for me.
Well,
And now Oxy's giving me that same kind of feeling. No love.
and then I'm in this. I did a spread on CVX, and the call that I sold is up 20%. So
You're doing good.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and take my green for the day on that one as well.
Well, what the heck just happened? Was that a oh, that's weird. Hey Chris, what do you think about that? I'm using TDA, Think or Swim, and just a minute ago it said 253% I was up. Did I have that right? Yeah, I think I was up like $253. Now I'm down to 77. Why? Because of this little movement here? That's weird. Let's take a look at the analyze graph on that. Let's see, where is DE? Nice. Yeah, that must have been a TDA issue, actually. Maybe because of the volatility. They probably would not have let me close that. Chris, did you see that on your screen or what was up with that? Did you see that? It's weird. So yeah, we still have a ways to go here. But we have plenty of time on it. But that was kind of fun to see anyway. How bizarre. My TDA is going all over the place. Now it's saying negative $78 from $253 to $78. Tell me there's not something wrong with TDA. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I see what you're saying, Chris. I just don't think I've ever seen that type of uh, identifier on my monitor tab change so rapidly. It's crazy. Even right now, it's changing crazily. Where Oxy has not done that. I wonder why. Hmm. I've done a lot of butterflies. I don't know why it's so volatile. And really, 64. Yeah. $3 is $3 from the open. So it is what it is. Shoot, I was in a good mood. Anyway, what else is going on, Jay?
That's about it. I'm just looking at these different ones that are just. We're back to our original chops. AMD is getting so close to the alert, or maybe it just went through it. And what do you think of that one?
107's got a little bit more. more area to go to right here. Get rid of the power line. You got the pre-market low
Yeah.
here, and then you
We're,
got
we're getting
oh boy, what an interesting open, huh? So
very.
so maybe the divergence, I want to keep track of after market when we do that divergent snapshot. So maybe the divergent snapshot is good for an overnight action, but as soon as the 5 minute candle comes out, get rid of your position because here we go. And the VIX is rising. So SPY, 412 on SPY. Oh, we got plenty of room on that. Interesting. So NVIDIA right now is just in a range. Who was that?
Go back
Oh,
to AMD.
I
It's
had
getting
a
ready to hit.
I had an alarm on VIX rising up to a specific area, and it broke the alarm there. So not broke it, but it made the alarm go off. So VIX is rising, and what does that mean, people? See how VIX is rising? If it breaks
You
through here,
said the market is going down.
that's right.
Look at AMD now. Then
Indeed. Let me get rid of.
it almost hit your alert there.
Oh, I am on a candle. I thought I do have a Heikin-Ashi on here, though. Let's because I have that Heikin-Ashi strategy. Let me just turn that off real quick so I can see. Yeah, I wish it was stronger. Verticals would be better. This is a 5 minute though. Let me see what it looks like on a 1 minute. See if we get some force here. No. So, price action is taking its time. I know, when you look at a candle, sometimes it looks, but I'm just watching, literally just watching price. And if you just look at price, you can see that it's just hanging around this 107 area. So be cautious on your calls and puts today, because remember you need thrust, you need aggressive movement for calls and puts to work. But if you're looking for just getting in a play, then maybe a credit spread would be good. Even like selling a call credit spread since the market's choppy and you're just wanting some theta. So, you see how it hit our price, and look how it hit our price and reverted right back up. You'll also notice, though, by the way, that it is in the demand zone. So, when we talk about supply and demand, that's what these guys are for the time period that you're on. So that was a 1 minute. So let's look at a 5. So we got a ways to go here for this. So we'll see if it breaches it again, but 30 cents while we've been sitting here watching it. NVIDIA kind of moves a little quicker. Just want to see what's 6. So not as quick here. That's a 5 minute. So NVIDIA is in its, but it's not it's, 89 to 93. A lot of power lines though. Okay. So basically giving back, right? So we gapped up in the morning and now we give it back. Isn't this like, this is like all of last week. It's like Microsoft. So it'll be interesting to see, what kind of news Amazon gets. Is it gonna, I was thinking maybe, the Amazon split had something to do with the market shooting up.
It's getting so close to breaking through to the power lines again. So we'll see if it hits those and bounces off or not.
Yeah, this little red zone right here is point of control. So anything below point of control is not bullish.
I just bought back my XOM calls that I sold earlier.
Yeah.
It was 17%, not 20, but it was still green, and now it looks like it's just bouncing off the pivot line.
And that was XOM.
Uh-huh.
Let's take a look. Yeah,
so I sold right near the top of the red candle.
Good for you. Right at resistance.
And then bought right back here where it is now.
Okay, good.
So it's not much, but it's just,
yeah.
I still need a nickel just to get my confidence up.
Yeah. Well, interesting. The CCI on a 5 is just toying with that 0 line right now.
Yeah, that's why I went ahead and took it just in case.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So the way this is starting out right now, let's look at some exciting names since our names are not doing anything. Come on, let's see. So you could see from the label here, it's kind of nice. This label lets you know that it did break the low. What do we got breaking the high? Google broke the high. Tesla's in a range, it says. Or no, it's red. So Tesla is broke below. Everything else is in its range. MA, huh? So the oil stocks are down. Healthcare No, no, that's not healthcare. That's banks. Really, banks are up a little. That should help the SPY. That's interesting. Okay. Um, hmm. Well, it is helping the SPY, but is all that activity just overnight? Yeah, nice gap up for SPY overnight, and it's staying within its range right now. Which is like, it's inside. So whenever you have like an inside day, it's choppy. It's trading within a range and really not doing anything. And so this would be a day that I would say go out and enjoy the day.
Why not?
Yeah, because every time I try to make money in this type of market, I lose money. So I already know. I'll still give it a try.
Yeah, it is very much choppy. Let's see if there's anybody talking to us. Any comments, guys, or questions for Sandy? Since we do have a little break here. Trade Monkey says, is AMD or any other below ORB 5 minute considered bearish?
Well, yeah, that when you take an orb play on a 5 minute, so on a 5 minute chart, you would have took it right here, and so you would have went from 107.80, and I don't know if you would have been able to sell during this wick, but if you did, you went to, what is that? 107.80 to 106.93. You probably would have sold somewhere in the middle here. So, it's not too much. You're talking about 50 cents. When you have a call or put, pretty difficult to make money on that, on AMD for your orb. But that is a strategy. It's its own strategy. It's just like the pre-market levels is a strategy. So it allows you to concentrate on one thing and um, create triggers. So apparently, I had an alert on M. Macy's, huh? Oh, that it crossed the CCI. Somebody asked me, can we program orders with the CCI? The sad thing is yes, you can. But the problem with Thinkorswim is that they don't allow you to do auto trading. Okay, so what was that? Was that Microsoft? Yeah.
Soft getting very close to bouncing out here.
Oh, see, it hit my alert, and so let's see.
The high I show was 274.15. I don't know, is that?
Yeah, 274 was my level, and so it touched it. It's touching it again. But just because it's touching it, I hope you recognize this
I
isn't
can't
too.
wait for it through instead of just giving me the needle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Not only that, though, guys, I mean, at some point you need to recognize, good trading days and bad trading days. Not every trading day is a good day. And so, I'm hoping though we give you triggers and everything, it doesn't necessarily mean that, that just means to go trade. We keep track and all that, but
So Big Boom says, do you care what the delta is when you take a play? With Richie's plays, it's a must.
do I care what the delta is? I do. I mean, sometimes because options are so expensive, like Tesla, Amazon, SPX, sometimes getting into an out of the money delta.
Okay, Amazon is getting ready to break through the power line if it continues with the body.
Mm-hmm. Good eye, Jay. That's on a one minute.
Yes.
Yes, it broke through resistance on a 5 minute, by the way. Or is that point of control right there? What is?
Having a problem getting my 5 minute to.
Yes, me too. It's
Yeah,
weird.
I think it's because it's still on the old.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like 1 minute's the only thing that really shows something accurate.
I'm trying to figure out, is this my point of control or is this my resistance level? I don't even know if Thinkorswim knows, but it's above the 9, so let's just go with that. And CCI looks strong. So, looks good. Are you in this right now, Jay?
No, because I'm not paying
Oh.
that much for these options. I mean, that's
Oh,
nuts.
I didn't see. How much are they charging here?
Goodness gracious.
You think it's too expensive?
Gotta go all the way out to the 130. Yep, I'm in it now.
Doesn't seem that bad. Huh. Yeah, I guess for out of the money, you could take a uh, call, debit spread, or a sell a put credit spread. Let's see what the credit is. Well, actually, the IV is not high. So if the IV is not high, then a call debit spread would be better. And so if we bought that, that's only, it's not very much. Let's see. Let's do this 127 and do this 130. 27, that's $3 wide.
Oh, the 5 minute is working now.
Let me just analyze this real quick. So if you wanted to get into a 1 week play with Amazon, you can generate some income, $163 if it stays above the 130 level.
I'll just scout because
Okay.
I might do something when it gets a little bit higher. All my shares converted, so I will start doing some Richie plays.
Excellent. That sounds great.
Oh, Anil says that SPX is gapping up.
Yeah, I just saw AMD hit an alert. So let's take a look at,
I just broke through with the candle on your resistance.
so everything is moving up here. Yeah, no, just hitting our levels. And what's it doing? What's SPY doing? 416.50 is my level. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what the
guys.
market does, get you excited, and then
You've got about 7 minutes before we pull the plug for the first session.
what are you laughing about?
There's nothing going on.
Exactly. You guys go outside and enjoy the day. I might go work out. I need to work out.
Big domestic question here.
Okay.
How long is a long trade for you? Oh, he's talking to Big Guava. Never mind.
Oh, no worries. Is Big Guava in here?
He is.
Oh, awesome.
He's been talking about. He says for a scalp or day trade, he takes nothing less than a 1-to-1 delta theta ratio.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it just depends on what you want to do. You want to 50 delta on SPX is pretty expensive. So let's take a look at that further. So I don't have a hard fast rule like Big Guava does. On As an example, if I was to scalp SPX, and I often do, uh, when I go over to the trade tab and take a look at my options, when they decide to pop up, I feel like I'm in slow motion. I think it's because I'm recording. So let's look at the option chain when we're taking a look at, getting into a scalp on SPX. I know a lot of people do this. So, if you wanted to take a 50 delta as an example on a call, here's your 50 delta, and it's going to cost you a 1,400, make it $1,490. And so you could see that our audience here is at the 4,200 level. And that's a 15 delta, which means, wow, that's interesting. That's a 15 delta, which means that if SPX goes up $1 or down $1, you make $15 profit or $15 loss. So a lot of people, when you're doing a SPX trade at the 50 delta, if it starts moving with velocity, a couple bucks, it can all of a sudden, um, move against you relatively quickly. And so, what a lot of people like to do is to take a lower delta on something that they're scalping like this. Now, if you're selling credit spreads, a lot of people are willing to take on more risk for a higher probability trade. And when you're selling something and you're selling it away from where price is, your risk becomes heavier, but your chances for reward increase. So that's how you use delta to um, to help you recognize, especially in spreads, uh, credit received, risk involved, and like Big Wav is saying, 1-to-1. But on scalping, it's a little bit different for me. And for credit spreads, it's different for me. But the closer that you are to at the money, then, that's basically your one-on-one chance, especially for a spread. But
What
anytime you take something that's at the money, it's going to be around the 50% delta. And that just means that that's the amount of um, dollars that you're going to make or lose on any ticker.
what do you think at the 11 o'clock session that you just walk us through an example of how to do that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, guys, we got about 3 minutes here. If there's any questions or comments about the market.
So looks like just a real quick review of our plays here. Microsoft is still in between its zone. NVIDIA is still in between its zone. You see how this is going? Now, SPY looks interesting. It is above its pre-market level.
It's trying so hard.
But it's not above my zone. And look at how far into the day. We're now like ready to go to the mid-morning reversal. And
I'm going to put a trailing stop on my Amazon calls. I just got a couple just to play with it.
Oh, how are you doing with that? Should we have gotten into that?
Well, let's see. I'm up 20%.
Well, good. Maybe we should have took that credit spread. Anybody take that credit spread?
See if anybody answers. It sounds like something Trader Chris would have done.
Let's take a look at Amazon.
And nobody responded and said anything.
You better take your 20%.
I'm getting close.
Oh.
Trade Monkey says, what time is mid-morning reversal? 1 hour in? Question mark.
Yes. Typically it's around 7:50 or my time. I'm so bad with that. 10:15 to 10:30 is typically the mid-morning reversal. And so here we go. Typically when we gap up and it's a really strong day, you won't get much of a reversal. But if in your mind you just think, you take the low of your session and mark off the high of your session around the 7:15, you can kind of see where the 50 percentile is. So, and that's typically the reversal amount on a pre-market, or excuse me, on a mid-morning reversal. And so you can see that the pre-market high is going to act as support here. This vertical trend line right here on Amazon should act as support on a 1 minute. If it breaks, it's going to, go down. But, and it looks like we are in that pre-market, mid-morning reversal time. So let's take a look at SPY. Because SPY actually was the strongest, right? Out of everything we've seen thus far, SPY was the strongest, and we are in a reversal. I mean, is that like, knowing that though, right, means that you take your trade and you get out knowing that there's going to be a reversal. Because why do you want to ride this down? Unless you have a swing on, like why would you want to ride this down?
My Amazon just became a swing.
That's a good one, Shay. You didn't know it. You didn't have your trade plan right there like that, but you're just gonna roll with it. That's good.
Started looking at other things instead of taking my 20%.
I know. That's why sometimes it's good to get that trailing stop in, or you know.
Yeah, and in fact, Big Flava says, do you have a standard trailing stop you use, or does it depend on the stop?
It all depends on like how strong something's going. As soon as I reach about 20, 25%, I'd like to put a, 7, 8% stop in because I just want to exit with profit. And I just noticed that more often than not, when I set a profit target and it's in stone, right? I'm not busy doing other things or whatever, that I it exits me with profit. And it doesn't matter how much profit, but at least I got a little bit of that pie instead of writing it all the way down. Could I re-enter, when it gets back to its support level? And the answer is yes. Just like, Jay was selling at resistance and buying at support. That's really, one of the best strategies. Um, so if we were on a 5 minute, SPY's going down. It's, there's not a lot of thrust there, but it's still going down. And you can see on a 5 minute, we have lots of power lines here. So we'll see if this acts as support right here. And so what's our 50% level? So usually when there's a super strong day, you may not even get to the 23.6 area. But usually if we do a mid-morning reversal, it comes down to about 50. Sometimes it comes down to the 61.8. That's a good entry point. You could use, by the way, your fib levels to create a stop loss area for yourself, right? If you're one of those people that I know in the beginning, I needed like lines, I wanted, some clarity. And so sometimes those fib levels give you clarity and you can say, okay, well, if I get in when this reaches the 61.8, my stop is at the, what is that, 78.6. And now you have your stop loss in. So you can use the fibs to do that. And
The thing I try to do is, I don't know if it's, sometimes I'm able to do it, is set the stop near the 9 EMA so that, just a couple of ticks below.
yep.
And that way, if it really breaks, then I'm good. Because otherwise, the 9 EMA just ends to work well.
Yes, yes, that's a great point. You can use the EMA that is your favorite to use for a stop, and it seems like a lot of our members use the 9, so I put it on my chart to use it as well, so we can discuss it. But as you can see right now, that 9 is acting as support, and is it weird to say that the 9 is literally right at the pre-market high level? It's weird how this stuff comes about, but it is what it is. And we just follow the steps either going up or down. So as you can see right now, that pre-market high level as well as the 9 EMA is holding as support. And if it breaks there, then we have a pivot zone here at 415.45. And God, but we got a lot of power lines here. So we'll see if it reaches the 415 level, 415.06. It's not a really big, well, $2, 1360 to 413.60 to 416.45. All right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, we'll come back.
I was just going to say, if anybody wants to get back in on a day, or maybe, I mean, this could be good trending lower, but I just bought more XOM calls for the week because it's at a low, and we'll see if it swings back up again today. But these 10, 15, 20% scalps that are just about the only thing in choppy stuff.
Yeah, that's been working for you. Just that rinse and repeat.
Right.
You doing that on a 5 minute chart or a longer period?
No, no, 5 minutes.
Oh, all right. Good for
And,
you. Sounds like a good strategy.
and Amazon is about to turn green again.
Is it? Let's take a look.
But it's following the 9 EMA as well. So
Yep. You're hoping.
all right.
Are you under the
Yeah.
hoping? You're hoping.
Yeah.
Are you under hopium right now?
Oh no, I don't do that. I used to see everybody in 40 minutes.
All right.
Thank you.